And that picture is the Staten Island Yankees, that's their facility, and the New York Penn League championship flag was waving in the foreground on opening day in June of 2001. 4 months later, the priceless skyline beyond the ballpark's walls would forever be altered. And Jane, if you could you just take us back a little bit to that day, because there was a very touching story about yourself, your involvement, and even your son Matthew.
Sure. We had just sent the team off. The season ended. It was September 10th. Everybody had gotten home that night, and the next day, this is when 9/11 took place, and everybody jumped into action. And I didn't know at the time that we were going to be designated as a makeshift morgue at the ballpark until people started arriving with tarps and to cover up the ballpark. When this was going on, my son and another coworker had gone down to the ferry. They were in desperate need of saline solution and water to get it up through the streets. And we had some equipment at the ballpark, and my son had worked there, Matthew. They immediately jumped into these little transport vehicles, got on the ferry with special police escorts, and they unloaded everything they could, making their way up to ground zero. I didn't know it. I'm very proud that he did it, and of course I always worry that there might be something later on down the line medically, but when I continued to yell at him, he was only 15, he said I would do it again in a minute. They never even, hesitated. They jumped into action. And we did too, and as a result, and I'm sure you read in the paper, we don't play. We hold that day very sacred. 9/11, we move the games, we hold the games, we do not play at the ballpark because of that.
And baseball was very instrumental after 9/11, getting the feeling back. Both the Yankees and the Mets did a lot for the community.
Right, and what we did was we opened the ballpark. It was an area for firemen and workers to come. It was a distribution center for months. What we did was we opened it up to all of our fans, the public, who wanted to come in and view the skyline the way it was now. And we let them do that, and we let them mourn as fans. Once, what do you call it, rooting for baseball. Now they said it'll forever change. And it took a while, and because once you looked in the outfield, that's what you saw was missing. But we kind of filled it up with all good stuff, so take their mind off it. And
nice sight when the new tower goes up.
Yes, yes.
You'll have a bird's eye view of that. Jane, we want to thank you so much for coming down tonight. And just what you spoke about with your son Matt, you're a great mom. We can tell that, because just what Matt said, he said I would do it again. That's what that's what it's all about. And you're also a great executive. And the Yankees are fortunate to have you, and we're fortunate to have you on our show today. So we want to thank you so much for coming down, and we'd like to invite you back again. And maybe we'll come out to the stadium someday and do this thing.
Absolutely, I would love
that. Be okay?
Absolutely, I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both for having me. It's been my pleasure.